So today here at the Creation Adventure School, I'm going to be doing deer jerky out of ground deer meat. And usually toward the end of the season here, or the off season I should say, I start looking in my freezer and seeing how much deer meat I have left, and I start reducing that amount so I can make room for the new venison for the upcoming hunting season, which is about a month and a half away, somewhere about depending on if you archery hunt or not, which I do archery hunt some. I normally kill most of my deer in gun season though. I'll just be honest with you. I don't kill a lot during archery season, but I like to archery hunt because it gets me prepared for the upcoming rifle season. So what I do, I vacuum pack my venison in these sealed packs with one of the vacuum pack sealers, and I don't use any fat in mine, but mine's all deer meat, all venison. And sometimes that's a problem if you're trying to make something that, like a hamburger patty or something, for it to hold together. So sometimes you have to do some different things to make hamburger patties. But typically what we do with the ground venison is spaghetti, chili, soup, or if we're eating like a Mexican meal with tacos or burritos or something like that, or fajita nachos, we'll use the ground meat and all that kind of stuff like that. So I've used about, I don't know, let me see how many pounds that would be. Got a scale here. I got about right at 4 pounds once I take the weight of the pan off. And what I'm going to do is mix up some spices, and I'll show you what I have here. I don't have an exact measurement on what I use on the spices. It's just kind of a, give and take a little bit, and try this out and try that out. But I'm going to be using this Kinder's seasoning. It's got salt, pepper, and garlic. That's all that has, okay? Keep it pretty simple. I use the Worcestershire sauce because it's got a lot less sodium in it, and really I like the flavor of that. Some of the stronger marinades have way too much salt in it for me. But I am going to use this Kinder's teriyaki, and it does have a lot of sodium, but I'm not going to use a lot of that. As you get older, the sodium can cause some issues with your health and your blood pressure and stuff. And I'm going to use some crushed red pepper. So all I'm going to do, now this is all, of course, depending on how hot you want it with the red pepper. But I'm going to say, let's measure it out. I use about maybe my palm full right there. So I got 4 pounds of meat, so I can get away with a lot, and I like hot stuff. As far as the teriyaki, we'll just kind of maybe that's probably about maybe a tablespoon. Go pretty heavy on the Worcestershire. We want our jerky to have some flavor, but I still want to be able to taste the deer meat. And then with the Kinder's, be pretty generous with that. When I get it in there and I mix it all up, I kind of, after I look at it, I should be able to kind of get an idea if I need more, how it smells and stuff like that. I mean, to be honest with you, I like if I just took it and put some salt and pepper on it and dehydrated it, it'd be fine with me. But what I'm going to do, just real quick, is I'm going to mix that up, and I'm going to let that sit overnight and let those herbs and spices really get, marinated, if you will, into that meat. I want that meat to soak all that up, and then I'm going to put it in the jerky shooter, and I'll show you that in the next clip here. Okay, so the next step in the jerky making process as far as making jerky out of ground meat. Here's my ground meat, my ground deer meat. It smells good. It's been, those spices have been, and the marinade and everything has been there in there overnight, and the meat has absorbed that, which is what we want. And so our next step is to load the jerky shooter. This is an OSTER, I guess that's Oster, and that's a pretty simple thing to do. I'm using my dehydrator is called an Excalibur, and it's a fairly large dehydrator, and it comes with these plastic, sheets that go on top of these racks, and that's the only thing. The only thing I don't like. These things get messy and they're hard to clean. But what I'll do, I found helps, is just to spray a little oil on those sheets, and it'll keep it from sticking. But simply, I mean, all you really need to do is just take this meat. It's good and firm. It's been in the fridge all night, so it's perfect for this, right, what we're about to do. Now, these things come with different settings as far as what kind of jerky you want. This is going to produce a wide flat strip of meat, which to me, I like these better. It seems to work out better for me. And all you do is simply screw that on there. Now this, make sure you can see this. This can get, I mean, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is not rocket science, but I try to pack it in there pretty good and not let it come out first, and then just kind of lay out a nice strip. Do the same thing next to it. What's funny, 4 pounds of meat, and you get about a half a pound of jerky, baby, with 4 pounds of meat. I don't know if it'll be that much. Once it dries out, there's not going to be not going to weigh very much. Okay, so look, I'm not going to sit here and bore you with me doing all this meat. I'm going to finish this up. I've got this Excalibur, I think, holds 9 trays like this. I'll probably maybe use 4 with that 4 pounds of meat. And I'll take you over here and show you the dehydrator. Like I said, mine's called an Excalibur. It's a fairly large dehydrator. We've had this one for years. It's served us well. I've dried herbs, fruits, vegetables. I've dried a lot of stuff in here, so this has been a good one. I did have to, and I've had it probably 10 years now, but I had to replace the fan one time, and that's all I've had to do. And so it's been a good dehydrator. I can recommend it. It's called Excalibur. Excalibur by, well, it says Economy, but I guess the brand is Excalibur. Anyway, I'll come back, and when the meat gets done, I'll probably go. See, it's got the settings over here, and it's got a setting for meat and stuff, and I'll set it. It usually only takes about 8 hours, and that meat will be dehydrated. So we'll check back in about 8 hours. All right, so here is the finished product. There's some pieces of the jerky. It only took about 8 hours for this to get where I like it. I mean, I could dry it some more and get it crispy, but what I like to do is, if you can take it, and this one does break apart, but you're just looking to make sure it's dried through and through, so it'll keep. But With this ground meat, it's probably, when it's dry enough, it's probably going to break like that instead of just the bending. You know, regular, if it was pieces of backstrap or something, when you get it to the place where it'll bend and you can see how it's dry in the middle. To me, that's when I get it where it's bending and it's dry in the middle. I usually take it off then, because if you leave it on there much longer than that, it'll get real crunchy and crispy. But anyway, it turned out good. I'm sorry, you have to excuse me. It's got a good flavor. I don't like it. I don't like so much seasoning that it overpowers it where you can't even taste the venison. I just like to season it, fairly lightly, and that looks like what I did at the first part of the video turned out really well. Like I said, I used the Kinder's garlic, salt and pepper. I used that. I used Worcestershire sauce. I used some red pepper flakes, and that was about it. I did use just a little bit of teriyaki sauce by Kinder's. And it turned out well. So thanks for joining. But I always remember this. If you don't remember anything else from my videos, life here on earth is short, very short. We're only here for a short time. The Bible even says that our life is like a vapor. Eternity is forever. There's no reason for anybody in the United States of America not to hear and receive the gospel of Jesus Christ and be saved, so that they'll know where they're going to spend eternity, and they'll begin to learn how to live in God's kingdom now by being obedient to His Word. Please remember that. Above everything else that I've ever taught, that's the most important.